This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. For those that missed the news, Alan Morgan, KY10, was elected in the position as the Kentucky section manager to take office in April. Current section manager Charlie O'Neill, KE4AIE, had submitted his resignation effective January 1st so that Alan could be appointed to take over. Alan was appointed ARRL Kentucky section manager effective January 1st. One of the first things Alan did was to appoint Glenn, KO4OL, as Kentucky section traffic manager effective immediately. To send those net reports, station activity reports, and public service honor roll to Glenn at KO4OL@gmail.com, or you can win link them to him at KO4OL. Congratulations, Glenn. The 2025 Hamcation is almost upon us, and they have announced their award winners for 2025. First is the Carol Perry Educator of the Year Award given to David Jordan, AA4KN, who is an active AMSAT member and works with the Amateur Radio International Space Station team to coordinate amateur radio school contacts with astronauts on the International Space Station. 2025 Gordon West Ambassador of the Year Award goes to Heather, WAGEM, and David, K1AN, Anderson, who encourage youth to become amateur radio operators through their involvement in the Youth Radio Club at the Yavapai Amateur Radio Club. Congratulations to all the winners, and I hope to see many of you February 7th, 8th, and 9th at Hamcation in Orlando, Florida. Do you have a DMR ID number that begins with the number 1? Well, if you do, listen up. If you have a 7-digit DMR ID starting with the number 1, it'll stop working January 1st, 2026, or perhaps sooner if it's inactive. If you have a repeater DMR ID, 6-digit number starting with 1, it will be purged soon, so you need to migrate to the 7-digit ID starting with 31 immediately. If you are using a 5-digit CAP Plus ID, it will stop working for you on June 1st, 2025. Find out what you need to do, and for more information, reach out to support and submit a ticket at support.brandmeister.network. Richard Jones, AJ1W of Versailles, Kentucky, has become a silent key. He was first licensed in 1991. Our thoughts and prayers to his family and friends. Harry Mack, WA3UGW, also became a silent key. He had moved recently to Danville, Kentucky from Campbellsville, Kentucky, a retired CIA telecommunications guy. He was also a published author. 2 books in particular were The Midwest Power Couple and The Blue Collar CIA. This interesting fellow and his stories will be missed. You still have time to dust off that VHF-UHF equipment and get it warmed up for the month-long VHF-UHF event called the Winter Heat, which was created to provide an opportunity for operators to test their VHF and UHF equipment over an extended period of time. The event also provides emergency communication operators to test their emergency communication plans and procedures. Winter Heat is a VHF-UHF simplex event, which runs from January 1st to January 31st, 2025, ending at 23:59 UTC. Contacts can be made over FM voice or digital fusion, D-Star, or DMR, but all must be simplex contact. This is the 6th year for the event Winter Heat, with over 785 participants and 214,000 contacts during last year's event. To learn how you can enjoy this event, go to hamactive.com. Would you like to win a radio by simply being a net control station for a net? Well, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club is getting serious on encouraging all members to take a turn as net control for the weekly net at the 146.79 WB4VOA repeater with a PL tone of 123.0 by giving away a Quanshang K5 radio with the F4WHN firmware already installed, donated by Doug Cooper, KE4DTC. You can win this by volunteering as net control or net logger duty sometime between January 1st and March 31st. Each volunteer will get a chance to win the radio for each net control or net logger duties they perform. The winner will be drawn and announced at the April club meeting. To give yourself a chance to win, volunteer to be net control or net logger by emailing net manager Al, WB8RGE, at WB8RGE@gmail.com. Do you know a ham radio operator between the age of 15 and 25 years of age? Well, the camper application period opened up back in December 1st of 2024 at youthontheair.org for the Youth on the Air Camp for the Americas, June 15th through the 20th, 2025, in the Denver area of Thornton, Colorado. Eligible youth are licensed ham radio operators between the age of 15 and 25. Up to 50 campers will be accepted, with priority given to first-time attendees. For more information about the event, go to youthontheair.org/Denver 2025 or contact Camp Director Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, at director@youthontheair.org. Congratulations to Zach Lucas of Jenkins, Kentucky, who passed his technician class license exam at the Letcher County Club session and is now KR4ANV. Congratulations and welcome to the hobby of ham radio. Congratulations to KZ4CP, who received the 2024 Contact Award from VE9CF for all the QSOs that he made in 2024 and his involvement in POTA, Worldwide Floral and Fauna, and DXing. The Bullitt County Amateur Radio Society, KY4KY, announced their officers elected for 2025. Congratulations to Buddy, KC4WQ, as president, Rich, KC3WNX, as vice president, Rick, KC4S, as treasurer, Bruce, KD4ULD, as secretary, Steve, KS4HE, as assistant secretary, and board members Bob, K4RVM, Ed, KC0IEB, Dave, N4FN, and Sherry, KQ4ERZ. Congratulations. January 25th and 26th is Winter Field Day 2025, and the Bullitt County Amateur Radio Society will be conducting Winter Field Day at the City of Pioneer Village at 4700 Summit Drive in Louisville, Kentucky. The Okayan Amateur Radio Society will be active for Winter Field Day at the Harvest Home Park in Cheviot, 3961 North Bend Road. Milford Amateur Radio Club will be holding Winter Field Day with the Butler County Amateur Radio Association, W8WRK, at the Fairfield Township Administration Building. The Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association will hold Winter Field Day at the Connect Community Village Bluegrass Veterans Ranch, 2845 Pine Hill Road in Somerset, Kentucky. For more information, reach out to Mike, KY6MM, who is coordinating the event. The Mammoth Cave Amateur Radio Club will hold Winter Field Day at the Camp Rotary Boy Scout Camp Road in Glasgow, Kentucky. For more information, contact NB4V at 270-361-1991. Tom, NV4H, will be running Winter Field Day with the Charlotte County Amateur Radio Society in Florida with his grandson Logan, KE8SUP, who flew down to help out with the voice station. They will be on CW, sideband, and digital using WX4E stations, so listen out and work them. More information on Winter Field Day can be found at winterfieldday.org. On January 27th, the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky, KY6ET, will meet at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence. The training team will do a presentation on the ARRL and ARES and give a basis to begin training newcomers to the world of volunteer amateur radio communication. So if you're wanting to learn about amateur radio emergency communications and how you can help, come on out to the meeting. On February 2nd at 7 p.m., the newcomer Nelmer's Net on the 146.67 repeater with a PL tone of 123.0, where Robert K4PKM will talk all about propagation banners. On February 18th at 6 p.m. Central Time, there'll be a National Weather Service Skywarn Storm Spotter training class at the CFSB Bank Community Room, 414 South 12th Street in Murray, Kentucky. Registration is required at weather.gov/PAH/spotter training. For more information, contact Josh Kerr of the Emergency Management Director.
Repeater News.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Hamfest.
February 8th is the 13th Annual Handfest of Hendricks County from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds and Conference Center, 1900 East Main Street in Danville, Indiana. Talk in on the 147.015 repeater with an 88.5 PL tone. For more information, go to n9hc.org. On February 22nd, 2025, the Livonia, Michigan Amateur Radio Club is having a swap and shop event at 8 a.m. to noon at the Ward Church Knox Hall, 40,000 6 Mile Road in Northville, Michigan. For more information, go to livoniaarc.com. On March 9, 2025, is the Northern Ohio Amateur Radio Society Winter Hamfest 2025 at the Lorain County Community College John Spitzer Conference Center, Research Room, 1005 North Abbey Road in Elyria, Ohio, from 9 a.m. to noon. For more information, go to www.noars.net. On March 16, 2025, the Toledo Mobile Radio Association will hold Hamfest 2025 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Owens Community College Student Health and Activity Center, 7315 Championship Drive in Perrysburg, Ohio. For more information, go to w8hhf.org. The 69th Annual Hamfest Electronic and Computer Show will be held on April 5th, 2025 at the Medio & Sons Party Center, 48 East Bath Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, go to cfarc-hamfest.org. April 12th is the Rio Grande, Ohio Hamfest at the Fellowship of Faith Church, 20344 State Route 554 in Bidwell, Ohio. Tickets are now on sale for the Dayton Hamvention, May 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2025 at the Greene County Fairgrounds in Xenia, Ohio. The 2025 theme is Radio Independence, celebrating the evolution and freedom of radio in today's world. For more information, go to hamvention.org.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On January 25th at 9 a.m., the Dial Radio Club will hold an amateur radio testing session at 6032 Morris Road in Hamilton, Ohio. To register, go to hamstudy.org/sessions/DIAL. On January 25th, the Moorhead Amateur Radio Society will hold an amateur radio exam session at 2 p.m. at the State Fire Commission Building, 99 Lake Park Drive in Moorhead, Kentucky. No pre-registration is required. On January 25th at 10:30 a.m., the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Cuyahoga County Public Library, 2025 2nd Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. You must register by emailing education@cfarc.org. The Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio testing session on February 1st at 10 a.m. at the Smithville Brethren Church, 193 East Main Street in Smithville, Ohio. To register, go to w8wky.org/license-exam. On February 2nd at noon, the Lake County Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Kirtland Public Library, 9267 Chillicothe Road in Kirtland, Ohio. For more information, email Scott at scottfarnham@roadrunner.com. On February 4th at 7 p.m., the Southern Kentucky Amateur Radio Transmitting Society in Logan County, Kentucky will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Logan County Search and Rescue Building, 101 North Thurston Drive in Russellville, Kentucky. Pre-register by emailing Bob, wb2ubw@rharris283@att.net. On February 8th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On February 17th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by emailing Mark Volstead, AI4BJ@MVOLSTAD@TWC.com. On March 4th at 7 p.m., the Southern Kentucky Amateur Radio Transmitting Society in Logan County, Kentucky will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Logan County Search and Rescue Building, 101 North Thurston Drive in Russellville, Kentucky. Pre-register by emailing Bob, WB2UBW@RHARRIS283@ATT.net. On April 1st at 7 p.m., the Southern Kentucky Amateur Radio Transmitting Society in Logan County, Kentucky will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Logan County Search and Rescue Building, 101 North Thurston Drive in Russellville, Kentucky. Pre-register by emailing Bob, WB2UBW, at RHARRIS283@AT&T.net. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: WX4GPS, KN4COE, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.